Hey loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, if you're new to my channel or if you're a returning subscriber, hello, my name is SHARONDA CHIANGONG and on my channel I do a lot of fashion, fitness, and lifestyle content. And if any of that stuff interests you, be sure to hit that red subscribe button down below and like this video. Now on today's video, we are going to do an eyebrow tutorial. I'm going to show you guys how I do my eyebrows. So without further ado, let's get into this video, shall we? Let's So loves, I take a lot of time to do my brows because I believe that if your brows aren't looking right, then your face is not going to be looking right. And for the record, my brows have never been waxed, tweezed, arched. Like, these are my natural brows, my God-given brows, just for record. So let's get started. So the first thing I do is I typically just brush my eyebrows, and I brush them with a lot of different types of brushes. The first one is I brush it with this one. This is the first brush I use. Many of my eyebrow brushes that I use can be found on Amazon.com, but this one is low-key like a Morphe brush, so it's a little bit more pricey. But if I can find the replicas of the brushes that I use, I'll be sure to link them down. And you want to brush your eyebrows this way. It's my left, so probably your right, just so that they all go the same direction. Then I brush them with this brush, which is a little bit softer. I told y'all, I take a lot of times when I do my eyebrows because the last brush that I use is this one, which is just like a spoolie brush. And again, I will link everything down in the description box. And this one's a little bit harder, but this makes my brows look thicker because I like having thick eyebrows, especially when I do my lashes too, which will be in a different video. And usually I wear really over the top lashes, not too crazy, but so then what I do is I take this brush, same brush, but on the other end you can twist it up like that, and this is what I use to trace my eyebrows. I don't use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, but in another video I'm going to show you guys me trying it for the first time because I bought it. It's time for me to up my game a little bit. But this is called the NYX Eyebrow Pencil in the shade Dark Brown, and I also use in a shade Black. This part I don't think I can really talk, so I'm just going to tell you guys what I do before I actually do it. So basically what I do is I just trace the bottom of my brows with the brush, with the whatever, and then I trace the top of my brows. And on this brow I do it a little bit higher, only because as you can see this brow is thicker than this one, so I do it a little bit higher. But once you add your concealer and you start blending, it's not gonna look like it's nothing else. I forgot to tell y'all, I also have a mirror that I also got from Amazon. Honestly, most of the stuff that I get from makeup can be bought on Amazon because who has time for running up a check? Not I. So yeah, I'm just gonna be using this little mirror to trace my eyebrow. And if you have a 3-fold mirror like I do, I would fold it so it looks kind of like this. So like this is a little dirty, y'all, but it looks something like that. And so that you can see this side of your brow, because if you're doing it and it's all flat, you can't really get that arch on this side. So I make sure that I tilt it a little bit on both sides. And the mirror that I have, again, it'll be linked down. Make sure that when you're doing it, you're raising your brows up a little bit so you can see under. this is what my brows look like right now. As you can see, they look thick, but it's how I like my brows personally. If you like your brows a little bit thinner, what I'll recommend you do is to just not trace such a high line above your actual brow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do basically the same thing but with the black one. But since it is black and my brow color is brown, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill it in with this brush. You don't want to trace again with the black brush unless your brows are typically black. But since mine are not, I just lightly go through and just fill in any types of like spots like this. So I use the LA Girl Pro Concealer like this, and it is in the shade of Toffee. I would say get your skin tone. Don't go a shade higher or lower, only because you want your brow to blend. Now, I'm not one to do like a natural type of brow. I want you guys to know that I did my brows today. So y'all gonna see that I did my brows today. I used to use this brush. Woo, sorry y'all. Woo, let it not. Okay, there you go. I used to use this brush to do my brows, but I low-key enjoy using a thicker brush. So now I use this one. Let it focus. I don't know if it's gonna focus or not, but it looks like this. And I just trace the bottom and the top of my brows. Now, depending on how much of a glow or a highlight you want your brows to be will depend on how much concealer. Next step is we need to blend this concealer into my skin, because who wants to go outside looking like this? Exactly, nobody. So in order for me to blend my brows correctly, I use another angled brush. I really enjoy my angled brushes. Sorry y'all, these are all dirty, but you know, I have them on brush. Wash my brushes. And this is a thicker brush too, as you can see. To compare it to comparison to this one, let me put them up so you guys can see them. So you can see that this one's clearly thicker. And I like to use this one to just all about tracing and blending. Honestly, guys, to do your makeup, just learn how to blend, because makeup is all about making things look seamless, making things look effortless. Because if they don't look like that, then your makeup is not the way it's supposed to be. After blending, your brows should start looking like this. And as you can see right here in these areas, sometimes I go back again and like fill them in if I don't see that there's a clear arch, and just depending on how I want my brows to look like. So I'm gonna use the brown one though, because you guys, just fill them in. I like it. One more blending tip is to use your good old foundation. So I use again the LA Girl Pro Coverage High Definition Long Wear Illuminating Foundation, and it looks like this in the shade Coffee. Honestly, guys, I want to upgrade my foundation because I don't think it does what it needs to do anymore. I need to probably maybe go to Fenty or something. Your Beauty Blender, which looks like this. I use this one because you can really get into like the corners and the creases of your brows. So this beauty blender that I use to blend in my brows. And you just want to take a little bit, like honestly guys, when it comes to blending, you don't need a whole lot of product, because low-key makeup is not even low-key, high-key is very expensive. Another tip is when you're blending, make sure you're patting and not dragging. When you pat, it really gets into your skin. instead, when you drag your makeup around, you don't really blend it in. You can still see, but as you can see, everything is slowly blending into my skin because I'm patting it down. Another tip is that when you are blending, make sure you I also like to blend into like my eye as well, just so everything looks seamless. So as you're blending the top of your brow, you also want to take that same beauty blender and blend the bottom of my brow. The final step is, honestly guys, all throughout my process, I'm constantly filling it in, because sometimes I like my brows as some parts of my makeup look, but then sometimes I'm like, yeah, this is just not it. So I make sure that I still go in with this brush, but since my foundation has already been like on my face, go very lightly. And that's how I do my eyebrows. They look like this. This is the final look. This is really how I like my eyebrows to be. Not too crazy, but they didn't look like how they looked like before. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give this video a huge like, and don't forget to subscribe down below. And if you are using a desktop, it's right there. It's right there. Just click on it. And as always, stay blessed and stay loved. Bye, love.